Sheila Jeannette Jordan, born November 18, 1928, passed away August 11, 2025, was a shining jewel in the world of jazz, a singer and songwriter whose voice danced with elegance, improvisation, and soul. Her remarkable career saw her record alongside some of the most celebrated musicians in history, while also creating deeply personal albums of her own. Known for pioneering a distinctive bebop and scat style, often accompanied only by an upright bass, Sheila's artistry captivated audiences and critics alike. Music historian Scott Yanow called her one of the most consistently creative of all jazz singers, and the legendary Charlie Parker fondly introduced her as the lady with the million-dollar ears. At the time of her passing, Sheila's incredible contributions to music had earned her not just artistic recognition, but also financial success, with an estimated net worth of $5 million. Early life, a childhood shaped by struggles and song. Born in Detroit, Michigan, Sheila entered the world on a cold November day in 1928. Life from the start was not easy. Her mother, just 17 years old at the time, faced the heavy challenges of raising a child while battling her own struggles with alcohol. Eventually, young Sheila was sent to live with her grandparents in the small coal mining town of Summerhill, Pennsylvania, tucked away in the Allegheny Mountains. There, she grew up alongside 9 siblings, though they were technically her aunts and uncles. The household was far from comfortable. Money was scarce, warmth and affection were rare, and her grandfather's drinking cast long shadows over the family. She would later recall, "We were probably the poorest people in a poor town. We had an outhouse, no water in the house, and in winter, all of us would sleep in one bedroom, without sheets or pillowcases, just blankets to keep us warm." These hardships could have silenced many dreams, but for Sheila, they planted the seeds of resilience. Her love for music became her escape, her comfort, and eventually her life's calling. Discovering jazz in Detroit. In the early 1940s, Sheila returned to Detroit to live with her mother. The city, alive with a vibrant jazz scene, became her musical playground. She not only sang but also played piano in the bustling local clubs. She became part of the trio Skeeter, Mitch, and Gene, with Skeeter Spite and Leroy Mitchell, where she took Gene from her middle name. The group gained a reputation for writing lyrics to Charlie Parker's music, and their devotion to Parker's artistry brought them face to face with the man himself. When Parker came to perform in Detroit, he invited them to sing, a gesture that deeply encouraged young Sheila and sparked a lifelong admiration for his work. Chasing the Bird in New York. In 1951, Sheila's passion carried her to New York City, where she immersed herself in music studies with Lenny Tristano and Charles Mingus. Yet it was Parker's influence that remained her guiding star. The two became friends before his passing in 1955, and Sheila always referred to him as one of her greatest teachers. She married Duke Jordan, the pianist from Parker's band, in 1952. Although the marriage was troubled, marked by Duke's battle with heroin addiction, it gave Sheila her beloved daughter, Tracy. For Sheila, Tracy was a bright light, someone she could love unconditionally and trust would love her back. Looking back in a 2012 Jazzwax interview, Sheila admitted, "I guess I was chasing the bird," when asked about moving to New York. Though people speculated that Parker's tune Chasing the Bird was written for her, she dismissed the rumor with a warm chuckle. The 1960s, balancing music and motherhood. The early 60s found Sheila performing in intimate New York venues like the Page 3 Club alongside pianist Herbie Nichols. Yet motherhood took priority, and for much of the decade, she stepped away from a nightclub circuit to raise Tracy, singing mostly in church instead. During this period, she supported herself as a typist and legal secretary, a role she would keep for 20 years. Even while working full-time, Sheila never let her love for music fade. It simply waited for its moment to bloom again. 1962 was a turning point. Sheila recorded You Are My Sunshine with George Russell for his album The Outer View, followed by her debut album Portrait of Sheila with Blue Note Records. Her unique sound drew critical praise and began a lifelong creative partnership with pianist Steve Kuhn. In the following years, she collaborated with talents like Don Heckman, Lee Konitz, and Roswell Rudd. A teacher and a performer, the 1970s to 1980s. Sheila's career blossomed further in the 1970s. She became artist in residence at City College of New York in 1974 and later taught there until 2005, an incredible 28-year run that inspired countless young musicians. Her teaching extended beyond the college, reaching the University of Massachusetts Amherst, the Vermont Jazz Center, Interplay Jazz and Arts, and international workshops. Musically, she thrived. In 1975, she recorded Confirmation, followed by the 1976 duet album Sheila with bassist Ariel Anderson. In 1979, she co-founded a quartet with Steve Kuhn, Harvey S., and Bob Moses, and throughout the 1980s, she performed and recorded frequently, especially with Harvey S. Even while balancing her music with a day job at an advertising agency, Sheila continued to produce timeless work. Her 1989 album Lost and Found was proof that her creative spirit had only deepened with time. A jazz legacy etched in gold. Sheila's career was a rich tapestry woven from bebop, free jazz, and heartfelt songwriting. She collaborated with legends including Carla Bley, Cameron Brown, George Gruntz, and Steve Swallow. In the UK, she graced the stage alongside Frank Holder, formerly of the John Dankworth Band. Her recordings appeared on some of jazz's most respected labels, Blue Note, ECM, Muse, Steeplechase, and more. In recognition of her lifetime of artistry, Sheila received the prestigious NEA Jazz Masters Award in 2012. 2 years later, her story was immortalized in the biography Jazz Child, a portrait of Sheila Jordan by Ellen Johnson, capturing the grace, grit, and genius that defined her. Final years and farewell. Even into her later years, Sheila continued to share her voice and wisdom, performing with the same joy and improvisational spark that had carried her through decades in music. Her songs were more than melodies, they were life stories told in notes, rhythms, and heartfelt improvisations. Sheila Jordan, the beloved jazz vocalist and treasured NEA Jazz Master, bid her final farewell on August 11, 2025, at the age of 96, peacefully passing away in her New York City apartment, as reported by NPR. Her dear friend and longtime musical partner, bassist Harvey S., gently confirmed the sad news. In the weeks leading up to her passing, Sheila had been surrounded by comfort and care at home under hospice support, according to details shared on a GoFundMe page. While the exact cause of death was not specified, it is believed to have been connected to her advanced age and the tender care she was receiving in her final days. Sheila Jeannette Jordan's life was a testament to perseverance, passion, and the power of music to uplift even in the hardest of times. From a little girl in a coal mining town to one of jazz's most beloved voices, she proved that beauty can grow from hardship and that art has no age limit. Rest in peace, dear Sheila. You may have left this world, but your melodies will never be forgotten.